What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be reacting to why NASCAR's most unorthodox team is set for the future. The thumbnail it has Trackhouse on it, so I'm guessing we're talking about Trackhouse here. This was requested by one of my Patreon members. I've reacted to quite a few videos from this channel now, and most of them are pretty good, so I'm excited to get into this one. So I'm just going to shut up and we'll get straight into the reaction.
Trackhouse is one of the most interesting teams in recent NASCAR memory.
Okay.
From the way they started up to the way that they changed the game in different ways, whether it be expansion or anything like that. From the fact that they had Pitbull with them. Everything about Trackhouse screams
Pitbull.
Cool. It screams
What?
different. And even with Pitbull leaving the team, same as Ty Norris, and having looked to openly expand and change themselves in different ways, this team that's open to change and has new drivers and sponsors, they, I think, are the most interesting team on the silly season side and on the overall OEM expansion side.
Okay.
Allow me to explain. Now, two
please
drivers
explain.
I think are
Please help me out here.
them. Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen. The reason they're safe bets, well, one, for Chastain, he's the franchise guy at the moment. He's the one who is elite, who's running and competing for wins, who has plenty of sponsorship, and who has also competed for a championship for this team. He's marketable, and in every way, he fits what a top-level NASCAR driver should be. Is he a little unorthodox? Yeah, but that's the Trackhouse way. And I think with this, Chastain should be set for a long time with this team, unless he takes a huge nosedive.
I was going to say, I know I've only been watching NASCAR for a year, but seeing him in another team is just weird to me.
He's a Trackhouse investment. He's the top dog right now at road courses. Heading into any road course this year, he will be leading the odds or one of the top three in odds when it comes to winning that race. He has international appeal, which is very important with NASCAR. And now, with the expansion efforts that they're putting up to go worldwide, having somebody with his caliber and name, like SVG has, well, that is something that is invaluable in so many ways to the team.
Yeah, it's good for Trackhouse.
For marketing, driving, everything alike, should be safe with Trackhouse for years to come. Now, they have one other driver on the team currently in Cup, and that is Daniel Suarez.
Oh,
Suarez is currently
I
in his
didn't know that he was on the
last year
team.
of his current deal. A deal that has basically been an attempt to resuscitate and save his career. He's underperformed, though. He has won a couple races, yes, but every single year, even as noted by Suarez, the performance has went down. And with a team like Trackhouse that's looking to compete with the Hendricks and the Gibbs and the Penske's of the world, they can't have somebody weighing down the ship and being the anchor. And in the 5th year of his deal, it's looking like not much is changing. I get that maybe he can have some kind of uptick later in the year.
This is his 5th year. Sorry, I only just caught that.
In a road course this year, but Suarez is not somebody who's
I love that
ever
pit scheme.
competing for championships in the Cup Series, at least in the current form he has now.
I was going to say, he's not someone that stands out to me. The only time I notice him on the track is when he's spinning out, and that says a lot.
And that is Connor Zilisch.
No hate,
Zilisch
just
is an 18-year-old phenom.
That's whenever I notice him.
He has a ton of hype and the talent to back it up. And yes, while he doesn't have all that much experience on the oval side of things and in NASCAR stock cars, he has the full cooperation and support, it looks, of Justin Marks, the man running Trackhouse. And Marks even said as
Heck,
much
I'm even rooting for him.
on
I hope he does
NASCAR's
well.
radio.
We certainly want to, give him as much opportunity as possible to get time in the Cup car, but it's also a little bit of balance for a couple reasons. One is we want him to stay focused on trying to win this Xfinity Series championship, and this is a guy that has raced so many different types of cars and different types of
Well, it just sounds like they're going to kick Suarez out and then put Connor in the car.
Opportunity to be singularly
That's what it sounds like.
One championship run like he does this year, so we want to kind of eliminate distractions and just make sure that he's in a position where he can focus on that. The other thing is it's hard for us to field 4 cars. I mean, it's a big effort.
Yeah.
We've done it twice already in the first 3 races of the season. It's a lot of work in the shop. We're not set up as a 4-car team. So that's the balance too. And then obviously, with the Red Bull component, they love Connor. They want to see him in the Cup car. It's a discussion that happens inside the shop from a workflow.
Yeah, I bet Red Bull are pushing for that as much as possible.
Red Bull, sponsor on the race car, and just kind of solving for all of that. So, I'm hopeful. I think it would be great for him. It certainly helps grease the wheels of that a little bit that he's already won in the Xfinity Series. So, he's in the playoffs, and maybe there's that opportunity to double up on another weekend coming up. But we just got to be smart and intentional about it, not throw too much at the kid at one time. But, his future.
Yeah, because you don't want to put too much pressure on him, because that's when things go wrong.
I mean, adding all of that up, the fact that he wants him to have some seat time. Yes, eliminate distractions on the Xfinity side, but then also go back and say with a win, he doesn't really have to worry as much about it. That, I think, is really pushing towards more Cup starts this year. Yeah. The fact that Red Bull wants him in the car. Red Bull is a huge brand. I don't have to really tell you that, but it's true. Red Bull being in NASCAR will help NASCAR and in turn will help Trackhouse immensely. And with two drivers,
I wonder if they'll get more like international watchers.
These two
now that Red Bull's back
in the Cup Series together would be important. And with Red Bull especially liking Zilisch, that is a huge vote of confidence from one of the biggest in the world to put money behind racing in any kind.
Yeah.
And I would say this too. I think it is easily apparent that he is the heir for the 99. Daniel Suarez is a dead man walking in that car at this time.
Oh.
That is Zilisch's car when he's ready.
I was going to say, just sounds like they're preparing to kick Suarez out.
I think it's an important one is when will Zilisch be ready? He's got a ton of talent, but he's very young, green with these cars, and you have to at least have some kind of backup plan. Could Suarez do another 1 year loan, basically, of his career, and then have a dead
yeah, but
man
look at Max Verstappen, for example. Like, he got into F1 young, and now he's like a four-time champion.
Pretty much set the writings.
I don't even remember.
Suarez is out after this year, regardless.
So it just shows it doesn't matter about age, really.
Who could jump in that car? Well, if a ride does not open up for him in a better team than he has now, maybe somebody who could be a stopgap driver until a better ride opens up for himself would be Kyle Busch. He stays in the Chevy family. He gets an upgrade over RCR. Trackhouse gets an upgrade over Daniel Suarez. And you have a really talented, great driver that has seemed pretty friendly with Connor Zilisch and could be a good person to kind of preside over his career for a year and look after him as a mentor. That is something that's well into the realm of reckless speculation, but it's something I think that should be at least delved into and investigated in some way. But I think by 2026, it'll be Chastain, SVG, and Zilisch. All three of them are really competitive.
I was going to say the same.
In general, but SVG and Zilisch at the road courses. And Zilisch has the talent to be as good as somebody like Kyle Larson. So there's no reason to long-term hold him back in any way. But what other future changes could Trackhouse make? Trackhouse has looked very open to making changes regardless of what aspect of the team it is. Well, I think the big one is the OEM. Right now, Trackhouse is second tier to Hendrick Motorsports at Chevrolet. It's clear that they're never going to be the top team there because you're not going to outbid Rick Hendrick with Chevy. So what could be the options? Well, recent headlines have shown that Dodge and possibly Honda could be rumored to be in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Wow.
Dodge possibly as soon as 2027. If the deal is sweet enough, could Trackhouse possibly switch to be a Tier 1 top team to be on the level of Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske?
Maybe.
I don't think you can count them out. They're a team that if they see the grass be greener on the other side, will jump over there. And business-wise, will be brutal. And that's something I don't think a lot of other teams really have when it comes to that killer instinct, where Justin Marks seems to really have it. So there you go. I really think Trackhouse is the most interesting team in NASCAR right now. And I think that the possible changes coming up
it's my favorite
and the
team.
ones for sure coming up, well, they're only going to be even more interesting. And, well, we're going to be the winners at the end of it because one way or another, it's going to be a fun story to watch.
Well, that was a really good video. I didn't know that Suarez was actually in the Trackhouse team. I knew that SVG and Connor and Chastain were. I didn't know about Suarez. But it does sound like they're just waiting to kick Suarez out and put Connor in the car. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm excited to see where Trackhouse go this season. It is like my favourite team. Ross Chastain is my favourite as much as Larson is on my wall. Chastain is my favourite. And I did say, like, I really hope that Connor does well with, like, every time he gets in a cup car this season. Every time he has that opportunity, because I feel like, you know, I mean, it's only a matter of time before we see him driving in the Cup Series. So, and I don't think age should come into play either, because, like I said, Verstappen started F1 like so young. Look at him now, he's a 4-time champion. So I don't really think it matters with age, to be fair, in my opinion. But yeah, I really enjoyed that video. So thank you to my Patreon members for requesting this video. With that being said, if you have any other videos that you'd like me to react to, drop them in the comments. I'm working my way through everybody's suggestions at the moment. If you did want to check out any of my other socials or become a Patreon member and get early access to videos like this or top priority of your suggestions, then you can do all of that down below. But I hope you enjoyed today's reaction, and I will catch you next time for the next one. Bye!